Hey everyone, it's Bobby from Dig Coding here, and this is another video for my Hedera Python playlist that I'm putting together. In the last video, link to which is at the top of the screen here, we started moving HBAR between two accounts and in exchange for products and services. So we will be expanding on that today and using the Hedera Consensus Service to send some messages. So this is what we'll be going through. You can see on the screen here, we'll be going through the docs on Hedera, so the documentation pages, and going through the HCS page, so the introductory page to sending a message on HCS. We will be looking at topics and messages, so we'll be going through the page and just working out what that's all about. We need to do a little bit of refactoring of the code because I started doing mix-ins in the last video and we don't need those. We're going to be refactoring the code. Then we'll start coding out the messages and the actual the application itself for sending messages via topics and using mirror nodes and things like that, and then we'll be testing it. So before we jump into it, if this is the first time you've visited Dig Coding, then please subscribe and click that bell so you're notified every time I add a video to this channel, and also like and comment to this video, as I love hearing feedback. Also, if you want to support us, there's a link to my Patreon page and my HBAR wallet in the description below. So if you want to send some money or some HBAR, then you're more than welcome to do so. So if we look at my screen, if you hop over here, you can see that I've got it open on the documentation pages for Hedera on the HCS Submit Your First Message. So we're going through the Java SDK tutorials because there isn't currently a Python SDK, but there will be one coming soon. So I'm doing this just to help you as Python developers get a foot up and start coding and building apps on Hedera Hashgraph. So this is the page we'll be going through, HCS Submit Your Message. So a bit of background. With the Hedera Consensus Service, you can develop applications like stock markets, audit logs, stablecoins, and other new network services that require high throughput and decentralized trust. This is made possible by having direct access to the native speed, security, and fair ordering guaranteed of the Hedera Hashgraph Consensus algorithm, with the full trust of the Hedera ledger. Okay, so that's a bit of background. It'll make more sense as we start coding. Okay, the components of HCS, there's Hedera Client, we won't go through it. This is more of bedtime reading for you. So study up and get more of a understanding of what all of this means, but hopefully you'll kind of glean a bit of it during this tutorial. We've got the network node, we've got mirror nodes, we've got topics, messages, subscriber and publisher. So topics, let's look at that quickly. A topic is a subject of information you would like to send messages to and what clients would subscribe to. Okay, so you set a topic up, your clients subscribe to that topic, and then when you send a message to it, your clients then get sent that message. So that's how it works. You need topics, you need messages. So a message is the content published to the Hedera network to a topic that gets placed in consensus order. Okay, so topics, messages, subscriber. So this is who will be subscribing to the topic. So a client that subscribes to the desired topic in order to receive the appropriate messages. Okay, so that's what we'll be going through. There's the flow. We won't go through this. That just walks you through the actual flow of HCS itself. Then you've got a little bit about getting started. So you will need a testnet account. Look at video number 1. It shows you how to set all of that up. You will need to install Java. You will need to install Python on your machine. So a bit of configuration required. If you haven't been following along, which I hope you have been, but if you haven't, look back at the early videos and I'll show you exactly what you've got to do to set up your machine to work through this. So get a testnet account, access mirror nodes. Like I say, we're working through the Java SDK, not Python. So we're working through Java, converting it to Python. So this talks about in point 3 to set up a Maven project. That's all about Java. We don't need to do that because it's a Python that we're using. Set up the environment variables. So we get the operator ID and the key from testnet and we add it into our machine's environment variables. Again, look back at them early videos and I'll show you how to do it. And then connect to a testnet, yada da da da. Our project is already doing this, so we don't need to do anything until point 7, which is create your first topic. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Quick shout out to this SDK. So this Wensheng has been putting together the Hedera SDK PY, the pip install. So this is the SDK for Python, which is just a community-based SDK that's been put together. So we've got all the examples on here, and without those, I wouldn't be able to do this project because there's some funky stuff that's happening in these examples that really, really helped me put this this course together. So thanks for doing that. And another thing, before I start coding, the reason I wanted to do it today, not next week or a week after that, is because Hedera has just reached a massive milestone, and that is, if I look on dragonglass.me, you can see they've just passed, I say just passed, this morning when I looked, they just passed the 1.5 billion transaction mark. You can see now that they've actually bought through nearly another million transactions since looking this morning. So, massive milestone, and I thought, you know what, let's do another Hedera Python video. So, that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so this is the my command prompt. So, what we need to do is cd into development. There we go, and cd into Hedera. I've got this as demo 4. And because I've got the virtual env wrapper installed, I can use work on, and we'll call this Hedera. Okay, great, so that's everything working there. If we now open up my Sublime Text, this is the project. So you can see that what we had in the last video, I've got a license to read me, don't worry about that, that's just going to be for my GitHub repository. But you can see we've got a transfer mix, we've got the mix in here that we were building, and we've got transfer here. So that's us transferring HBAR. What we're going to do in this tutorial is start working through the docs so we can do a message via topics. So first and foremost, let's do some refactoring. So I've got my project on the other screen here. So I'll move everything across and show you what I've done. And move it over there a little bit. So you can see I've removed the mixing. It wasn't really required. So everything's the same going on up here. The transfer class, if you're following along in this project, the only difference being now is we're passing through the keyword arguments customer account ID and custom private key, and we're configuring that client within the Hedera init function rather than for a mix-in. Then we've still got create, there's no different there. So that's all we're doing in the transfer refactoring, no changes. I don't know if there's any changes here. Let's have a look. No, there's not. But what we need to do is we need to create a new file called messages. So new file, save as, and this will be messages.py. Sorry, let's open it up again. I don't know why I've done that. Messages.py, great. And what we'll do is I will bring in the imports to start with. Again, very similar to transfer, we are bringing in time in this as well. Creating a Hedera account, we need to do that for this. And from Hedera, we're importing a whole bunch of other stuff. So we've got topic create transaction. So if I look back at the, where is it? It's here. Yeah, so if we look back, we're in 0.7. So topic create transaction is something we need to bring in. And as we go down the page, there's a few other bits and pieces as well. But topic create transaction. We've also got topic message query. We've got topic message submit transaction. And this is the one, PY consumer. That's not noted anywhere in the docs. Okay, I got that from the SDK that I was showing you, the pip install SDK that I showed. Yeah, where is it? It's here. Okay, so I found it in one of these. In fact, I think it was this one here, PubSub. Anyway, that's by the by. That's where I got that from. So that's not on the docs, but we do actually need that. So we need to work through this. So what we're doing here is to create your first topic, you will need to use the topic create transaction constructor, set the properties to the network, the topic IDs are in the following format, 0.0.10. So what we're doing here is we're using that constructor and we're executing it with client. Now we've got a get client py file, that's how we're doing that. We get the topic ID by calling get receipt.topic ID from the constructor, and then they're doing a little print out here. But that's not what we're doing in our project. I'll show you. We have a topic class. In fact, let me just move it all across. I'll walk you through it. If you've been following my tutorials, you would know now that my typing is poor at best. So to avoid any typos, there we go. So I've got a topic class. We've just done in it here, and we're passing through memo as a keyword argument. And if it doesn't get a memo, then it defaults to NA rather than none. So it's always going to have an NA string. And then we've got a create method. So we're calling topic create transaction. Okay, so that is the equivalent of what they're doing in the docs. So in the docs, they are, topic create transaction. So this is the class equivalent in Python of what we're doing there. We're calling that constructor. And we're setting a topic memo so that, we can call this whatever we like. So it can be test demo, memo, and we execute with client. So the client is what we're getting out of get client here. So we're in testnet, but if you're in production, you'll be using mainnet. So that's the topic class. We've then got show message. So this is what I pulled from straight from the examples in that GitHub account. So it's a show message function, and it prints out with an S string time from argument 0. So the first item in the list in the arguments, and received. So what that is, that's a consensus. That is when the message reached consensus. So it's a time date field. And then received, and the argument 2 is actually the message itself. So this will be printed out when we add a message to the node. The mirror node will then fire out these messages to the subscribed clients. Okay, so we've got a subscribe class here. So we've done in it. And keyword arguments, we're pushing through the topic. So we create a topic and we're pushing that through to this class. Topic ID, we're using the get receipt. So this is what we looked for in the docs. This is the get receipt that we're calling, okay. New account, so we're calling the new account, the Hedera account class that we built in the last tutorial for moving HBAR around. So this creates a new client. So we have us as a client, and for each person that's subscribing to the topic needs to have an individual client. So we're calling Hedera account, create new account. And from that, we're getting the account ID, the public key and the private key, and we are creating a client using the config user client, which is in get client here. Sorry, I'm rattling through this pretty quick because I realised the video's winding on a little bit now. So we've got so it's topic message query, okay, and we set the topic ID and then we subscribe. So we're moving forward in the docs here. So we're subscribing to a topic. So now we will shift our attention to the mirror node and subscribe to a topic. So we need to, the client establishes a connection to the Hedera testnet mirror node. We will subscribe to the topic by referencing the topic ID. You will also print a consensus, timestamp and message when you submit the console. See, they're calling the constructor topic message query, as are we in our code. And we're adding the topic ID and we're subscribing with the client. But then they've got this response. So in JavaScript, that would be a success or an error. In this, it's response and it's printing out a string if it's a success. But in Python, we need to use the py consumer, and that's what we're doing in this code here. So we're topic message query constructor. In this case, it's a class. We're passing through the topic ID and subscribing. We're subscribing with self client. So this is the new client that we just created. So client as a variable is us. Self.client is a client that we've created. So it's another client. And then it's py consumer show message. So that is calling this. So every time you add a subscribe or subscribe a new client to the topic, it should have, if we add 3 or subscribe 3, it should print out the same message 3 times. Okay, we've then got message. So this is the message class. So we're passing through topic ID and the message itself. So this is a test message. Then we've got send method. So topic message submit transaction. So if we look on the docs, we're submitting a message by calling the constructor topic message submit transaction. So this is what I'm following here. Look on here. So it's topic message submit transaction, passing through the topic ID, passing through the message that we want to send, and we're executing it with us as a client, not the subscribers. We get the receipt, so message.getReceipt client, status to string. So if this transaction is a success, then we will get in our console a message that says, well done, you've sent a message, but that's to us. Then straight after that, or a few seconds after that, because I'm adding a time, am I using time in this? I probably am somewhere, no I'm not. It takes up to 5 seconds to complete. So it will print out the message. If there's a problem, it will say something went wrong. And then we've got this, manage message. So this is actually what we'll be calling in our console. So we'll be importing all of these different classes. Then we'll be creating a topic. Then we'll be subscribing to that topic. And then we'll be using the message manager to actually send a message. So that's what it is. So we've got a dunder init function here, method, sorry, and we're passing through topic, the message, the memo. Okay, and message equals, so we're calling the message class. We're adding the topic, adding the message, and then we're sending the message. Okay, so that is all we've done. So we've refactored the code, and now we've built this message.py file. So hopefully that will work. So let's open up Hedera 4. So what we'll do is py, and that should fire up the shell. So it's from message import, we want topic, subscribe, message, and what was the other one? I keep forgetting. Topic, subscribe, message, and manage message. Sorry. Hey, right, so this is my command prompt. I had to do a quick machine swap because I had a few errors with my new machine. But anyway, I'm back on the machine where I actually wrote the code in the first place, and I've got my command prompt open. And what you want to do, fire up your Hedera virtual environment and CD into the correct repository, which in this case is Hedera Demo 4. And what you then need to do is fire up py, by typing py as a command, it will fire up a shell, and then you can make some commands. So from message, import topic, subscribe, message, and manage message. You then want to create a topic variable. I went through this earlier. So topic variable equals topic, then memo equals test memo. You can put whatever you want in there. And then create, call a create method. What we'll do, we'll then make two clients and subscribe to the topic. So when that finishes doing that, subscriber 1, so sub 1 will be subscribe, and then you pass through topic equals topic. And we'll have subscriber 2 when that's finished doing what it's doing. Pass through topic again. And then lastly, we want to call the manage message. So MSG equals manage message. You pass through a message. We can put whatever you want in there, but we'll put this is a test message, and then you pass through topic as well. And that's what we've written into the class. Press equals, and then process that. It'll take 2 or 3 seconds, but there we go. Well done. You've sent a message to the topic. The message is this is test message, and there you go. It then fires two messages from the mirror node to each of the subscribers. And what you've got here is you've got the exact date time of the consensus and the message itself. So receive, this is a test message, and then this is a different time stamp message, this is the test message. So there you have it. It actually works. I'm quite happy with that. Like I said, if this is the first time you've visited Dig Coding, then please subscribe and like this video, add a comment, and let me know if there's anything else you want me to run through on Hedera, because I can quite easily go through all of the SDKs, but you as an audience, if you want me to work on something specific, then just let me know. But that is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I'll be seeing you in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.